Hello everyone, this is Randy and welcome back to Furniture Shuffle. When I first saw this piece, I loved the Art Deco vibes that it was throwing out at me. Unfortunately, when I took a closer look, it had some serious issues. It had a lot of burn marks on the top because, hey, everybody smoked back in the day. I loved the scallop detailing that it had, but the veneer on the bottom was pretty much trashed. I would have bought this piece anyway just because of these original Bakelite handles. It's pretty unusual to find them all intact and undamaged. So let's see what we can do with this. It looks like this piece was a dressing table, vanity, or small desk originally. There is evidence of a mirror being attached to it, and obviously, somehow along the way, the mirror became separated from the base. As I said earlier, the veneer in some places was in pretty rough shape, so I'm gonna use this syringe and some wood glue to glue back down some pieces that were loose. The finish was fairly dry and thin, so I decided to use my carbide scraper to remove it. I used a Dremel tool to sand those scallop details, and it worked really well. I'm using a wood putty to repair all of the damage on the veneer at the bottom of the piece. After the wood putty had dried, I hand sanded it down prior to staining. For the side drawers and the main body of the piece, I decided to use this golden pecan color just to stay as close as possible to the original. I really wanted those scalloped details to stand out a little bit more, so I went over just those with an early American stain. The metal parts of the hardware turned out not to be brass because they were attracted to the magnet, but I did try cleaning them with some barkeeper's friend. After I was done, they were still really pitted, so since they were not brass, I decided to spray paint them in a brass color. The top of the piece was not a very high quality piece of wood and had some stains that were just not going to come out, so I decided to stain it in this dark black color. I also decided to use that black color to hide the repairs on the veneer sections. The top drawer ended up a little too dark for my liking. I wanted more of the veneer to show through, so I used some mineral spirits to remove some of the dark stain to show more of that veneer. There were some pretty bad stains in the bottom of all the drawers as well, so I decided to put some liner in there, but something more appropriate to the style of the piece as opposed to what was in there originally, if you remember what that looked like. I had this nifty little plastic scraper that came with the wood putty, and it worked perfect to get out any bubbles in the liner. The final step is to put the handles back on, and as a finishing touch, I had an antique mirror from a previous project that I thought would coordinate well with this piece, and since it had a mirror originally, I decided to add it to it. So, let's take a look.